This is Brand versus Brand Food Challenge. This is where we look at branded food to see if we can find a better brand that can help to improve your health and lifestyle, rather than using a conventional diet. We are going to look at 4 sections to see if it is possible to switch to a brand that will help control weight, diabetes, heart, and cholesterol issues, along with helping people on a tight budget to simply save money without sacrificing your favorite food or treats. Looking at calories, we can determine if the food or drink is good for weight loss, but would reduce the risk of obesity, but can lead to people suffering with certain cancers. Looking at saturated fat, we can determine if our food or drink would help or irritate blood pressure, angina, stroke, and heart issues. Looking at carbohydrate, we can determine if the food or drink would help or irritate diabetes types 1 and 2. Finally, by comparing the lowest price brand against the most expensive, we can predict if this change is good for your health when shopping on a strict budget. The first thing we need to do is log into Google and type nadiet.info. That will take you to the We Can't Spell Success Without You webpage. Click on Download. Click on the Brand versus Brand Food Challenge icon. This gives you a list of all the available food from vegetables to ready-made meal. So today we're going to look at
Today we're going to look at hot snacks. Number of products tested, 73.
So once again, looking at the website, we've clicked on downloads and we can see all the different categories of food. Today we're going to have a look at snacks. We need to scroll down the web page until we find snacks there at the bottom left hand side. Clicking on this, it will take us to a second screen where if we scroll down we can see pot snacks. And this is going to include pot rice, pot noodles, and we will be prompted to open the Microsoft fact sheet document. So if we click on OK, the document loads, and as always we start with the lowest number of calories, which, looking at the sheet, is Sainsbury's pasta, tomato and herb pot. This comes in at 214 calories. However, if we scroll down the list, this will take us to the most calorific product, and we do discover that it's the pot noodle original curry flavour, which is 471 calories. So from looking at the least calorific to the most calorific, it is actually possible to eat 2 pot snacks, which would be the Sainsbury's pot pasta and tomato and herb compared to a pot noodle curry flavour. And I'm sure that a few people will be saying is that that's a little bit of a cheat. So if we look down the list, we've got Charles chicken chow mein noodle pot, which isn't rice or pasta, and that still comes in at 253 calories. So we're actually able to still have less calorific products compared to such things like a pot noodle. Also we've got Asda Slim Zone Singapore noodle snack, and that comes in at 264 calories. So my question would be really, if Asda has actually been able to produce a much less calorific product, why is pot noodles product range still high in calories? However, if you want to lose weight, go for Sainsbury's pasta pot, and if you want to gain weight, then look at pot noodles. So now looking at saturated fat, and we can see naked noodle ramen soup, which might be a cheat, comes in at 0.1 of saturated fat. Sainsbury's rice noodle pot tom yum flavour has got 0.2 saturated fat, and Bachelor's pasta and sauce pot chicken and mushroom has got 0.3. So these are the type of products that you should be aiming for if you are worried about cholesterol levels, stroke, heart disease, because these will actually contain the least amount of saturated fat per pot. However, if we actually scroll down the list, we can see that the worst offenders for saturated fat is going back to the pot noodle range, which is coming from the pot noodle pulled pork at 7.6 grams per pot, right the way through to pot noodle chicken and mushroom, which has got 9 grams per pot of saturated fat. So we can see instantly here by avoiding the product pot noodle and by going for a shop produced type product is that we can save significantly on saturated fat. So for people that's worried about carbohydrate, diabetes, sugar levels, then once again we can see that the least offenders for carbohydrate is pot pasta snack creamy carbonara, which has got 34 grams carbohydrate per pot. Now if that's the least, that means that these actually are quite calorific. That's probably the equivalent of 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar, according to what I write in my book. Even if you look at the NHS statistics on carbohydrate, they would say that would consist at least 2 teaspoons of sugar. So there's quite a lot of sugar in there, and that will aggravate diabetes types 1 and 2. But looking at the other end of the list, and the worst ones are the neki noodle, Malaysian mee, whatever,
Malaysian mee goreng,
which has got 70.4 grams of carbohydrate. Just above that we've got pot noodle ranges again, which has got 66 grams of carbohydrate. So once again that would be equivalent of 4 teaspoons of sugar per pot, which, you know, if you're diabetic, you don't really want to be eating this type of product range. And in fact, I probably recommend have these very, very occasionally. Don't depend on them if you are suffering from diabetes or you're worried about your sugar levels. And once again, it's a little bit disappointing because pot noodles been around since 1979, and even though that they always encourage themselves to produce new flavours or come up with gimmick advertising, it would seem is that they haven't been looking at how to make these products healthier for people that buy them. And you do get supermarkets that's come along since 1979, produced their own products, and showers have produced their own product, which is appearing at the healthy end of the scale, or at least the healthy end of this spreadsheet. So, you know, pot noodle, let's see if we can get our act together a little bit really. And I'm sure that there'll be other videos regarding pot noodle in the next couple of weeks. But hopefully is that, you know, pot noodle really needs to improve, and neki noodle, they just need to improve what they're putting in there, reduce the calories down, and definitely reduce the carbohydrates so everybody can enjoy them, even people with diabetes. So as ever, looking at the price, we're looking at the Arty Food Company Spicy Curry Noodle Pot, which is 28 pence. This has got 283 calories in, so it's not too bad. In fact, probably part of the lower range, and it's got 45.3 carbohydrates in there and 3.6 grams of saturated fat. Now don't forget, this is per pot that you're making up, which doesn't, you know, for 28 pence this doesn't seem to be a bad option. But if we scroll down to the end of the list, and the more expensive one is Kabuno Noodles Chili Chicken Ramen Pot, which is quite interesting because all pot noodles are really made from ramen noodles. And this one's coming at 327 calories, 60 grams of carbs, but 0.9 of saturated fat, for the grand total of £2. So assuming that you was eating the Caputo Noodle Chili Chicken Ramen Pot, what would it mean if you actually switched product the next time you're in the supermarket? So once again, we've got the Health and Wealth spreadsheet, which has already been filled in. We've got the Kabuto noodle as our normal brand, and we've put in the revised brand of the new brand as the Arty Food Company. And assuming that we're going to eat 3 a week, we can instantly see that will my food amount change? Well, it will. You'll eat slightly less. Now this is 15 grams before you put the water in, which ends a great deal, so you're not going to go hungry. The overall pot probably feel the same when you eat it. Will my weight change? You will lose weight, and that's mainly because the Kabuto noodles are 327 calories, where the Arty Food Company comes in at 283 calories. However, is this good for diabetes? It could improve over time because the carbohydrate that used to eating is 60 grams per pot, and that would reduce down to 45.3 grams per pot. But is this good for the heart? So the saturated fat, the Kabuto noodles is 0.9, and the Arty Food Company is 3.6 grams per pot. Now don't forget, when you look at the spreadsheet, there are other products there which are far lower in saturated fat, so you can actually switch to a better one. But for the purposes of this video, we're just looking at the most expensive product against the cheapest product. And by doing this, it could irritate any cholesterol issues, etc. However, by doing this change, you would actually save for 458 teaspoons of sugar. Now imagine that you go to the supermarket and you get sugar cubes in a box. Try praying out 458 of them, which is quite a lot of sugar, and if you have a look at that, that would be absolutely scary. But that's how much you'll save in sugar per year through the carbohydrate reduction. This would lead to a predictive weight change of 11.4 pounds per year. So if you think about 14 pounds as a stone, by doing this switch you'd actually lose quite a lot of weight, which would actually improve the diabetes issues and would improve any heart issues. And finally, this would result in a £268.32 a year saving. That's quite considerable. The switch is quite good. It's going to improve weight, it's going to improve diabetes. Perhaps pick a different pot if you have cholesterol issues or you're worried about heart or stroke. But, you know, it's probably worth thinking about the next time you're in the supermarket. So until next time, take care, and we'll see you soon.
If you have enjoyed this video, then please provide your support by liking this video and subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you are watching on Facebook, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thank you for viewing.